Welcome back to the Lair, where we talk all things Wildcat football. I'm joined as usual by Papa Davis, here to talk about the game coming up against Priory.
Yeah, at Priory.
And we're talking about this game against Priory, but probably for a lot of our fans and a lot of the teammates, what they're thinking about is Burroughs, because in 2 weeks we've got Burroughs. They're 5-0, we're 5-0. So how do you get ready for the team that's had a rough start, isn't looking very good, when you're looking past them at this really good team in 2 weeks?
Yeah, that's going to be difficult. It's going to take discipline. Thankfully, we've got a great coaching staff who we know they really major in keeping everybody focused on the next step and not further on down. But there's no doubt that in the backs of our minds anyway, and definitely in the fans' minds, you're looking at a definite game of the week for the entire state of Missouri matchup in 10 days from the time of this taping between Burroughs and Westminster. That does not mean, however, that we look past Priory. Priory, again, 2-3. I really think that you can throw that record out the window because this is a team that has been through the doldrums recently. They had a 38-19 loss against MICDS last week. Really struggling in a few areas. They do have their quarterback having returned. He was back for the MICDS game. He missed the washout. Oh, that was and
not a good game.
No, Priory really suffered because of his absence. That was noticeable.
So we don't want to make the mistake of looking past Priory and thinking about Burroughs and talking about Burroughs. So you've done some looking at Priory,
yeah.
And as usual, you've got some keys for the game.
3 keys for the game. Run and run and run we go. That means that the offense for Priory really clicks around quarterback Andrew Run. He's the one who was injured and could not play in the Lutheran North game, but he returned with a vengeance against MICDS. He's the one that he's the reason why that game was as close as it was. Run is doing an outstanding job of throwing the football. He is 42 of 70 on the year. That breaks down to a completion percentage of 60%.
Pretty good.
Probably when he's been running for his life, too. He's a pretty decent runner also. So 616 yards in the 4 games in which he's played. So throwing a blanket over this guy, getting pressure on him from our front 7. And the good news for our defense also is even after we contain Cody Schrader against Lutheran South, we've got guys waiting in the wings who are coming back after extended absences.
Which will be good.
That will be good. It'll be good to see them getting into a game and getting some game time before what might look like a big game next week. So that's key number 1. Key number 2, we've beaten this into the ground, but don't look ahead. Never look ahead, even though the tendency is that we are, yes, John Burroughs is coming up on October 3rd, but we can't look past Priory. The last time we went there, we had a close game, a.k.a. the Mason Road Miracle. Thank you, David Williams. But the Rebels are going to fight to the last man as if Gerard Butler himself was leading them into battle at Thermopylae.
Let's go Sparta.
Let's go Sparta. So Wildcats need to stay focused, need to have a renewed effort on every down. This game is not going to be over till the final gun. And finally, burn them up. The third key is to burn them up. Use the speed in your arsenal. We saw bits and pieces of that, taking the gloves off against Lutheran South. Steve Webb set things up, a good number of stretch plays and getting outside, extending the defense. It sets Evan Johnson up to have a fantastic game and utilize our receivers. We've been seeing them spread the wealth around a lot more. So if we can extend them, we get them on a defense on their heels, great things can happen because we had a great vantage point from the press box against Lutheran South because you can see the body language of the other team, and when they start putting their heads down and slumping, that's where you know you've got them, and especially from an offensive point of view, we've got the tools to cause the defense to disintegrate faster than Franklin Pierce's presidency.
That's fast.
That is fast. Thank you for the Kansas-Nebraska Act, President Pierce.
Both Priory and Lutheran South dress a relatively small number of players, so especially using that speed to wear them out, especially over the course of the whole game, could pay some dividends.
It can, just like what we saw against Lutheran North, and that really carries the day.
Contain the quarterback. Don't overlook this team. Come ready to play. Looking forward to seeing all of you out there for this game. It's
Check
at
out our
Priory.
Facebook page too.
It's at Priory. Go support the Cats, and then we'll see you back here next week for more episodes of Lair. Thanks for joining us.
Sure thing. See you.